We all have read one first chapter of KATHOPANISHAD. Have you understood the chapter? So, quick summary of the KATHOPANISHAD. Nachiketa, who is just a little boy in his pre-teens, watches his father Vajasravas perform a yajna. In that yajna, this Vajasravas is supposed to donate everything that belongs to him. So what did this clever father Vajasravas do? He didn't want to give the good things. Like when we want to donate anything, we find out all that which is useless, which the clothes which won't fit us, the shoes that won't fit us, we collect all that to give donations. You go to a temple and a beggar is there asking for money, you will search the most torn old note, maybe that which has already been demonetized, to give it to the beggar. So this Vajasrava was like that. Though he had studied all the scriptures and knew that if he performs this Vishwajit Yajna, he will attain highest of the heaven, and in the process needs to donate everything that he has had so far. So what did he do? He transferred all the good cows in the name of his wife, in the name of his son, and all the bad, old, very, very useless cows, he kept it in his name, because he has to donate everything that he belongs to him. And after the yajna, he started giving those old and poor cows who could not give milk, who cannot eat grass, who cannot even drink water, to all the Brahmins who had attended the yajna as part of the dana. Poor Brahmins did not know what to say, so they were out of courtesy taking and going. But his own son Nachiketa saw that his father was not doing it right. He was giving away old things, useless cows to the Brahmins, which is not the way dana should be done. That is why we say Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adeyam, Shriya Deyam, Hriya Deyam, Bhiya Deyam, Samvida Deyam. Taittariya Upanishad says in Sishya Nushasanam of Shikshavalli, Shraddhaya Deyam, donate or give help with Shraddha, with good sincere feelings. Ashraddhaya Adeyam, if you don't have sincere feelings, don't give charity. Shriya Deyam, give in abundance, don't give with that conjuse attitude, searching for the tone and demonetized notes and giving. That is not the way. Shriya Deyam, give in abundance so that the person's need is fulfilled, whomever you are helping. Bhiya Deyam, give with the fear that you are not giving enough. Hriya Deyam, give with humility that it's an opportunity God has provided to help someone. Samvida Deyam, give with the knowledge of how it should be given, why it should be given, and for what purpose the other person is going to use it. All this together is the way of giving, says Taittariya Upanishad. But in KATHOPANISHAD we see this Vajasrava, who was a very well-read sage, yet he does not have the heart to give properly. His son Nachiketa notices this and tells to Vajasrava, his own father. A beautiful word uses, he says, Shraddha Vivesha. Out of Shraddha, Nachiketa goes to his father and says, Father, please think once, what are you doing? Anupashya yatha purve, pratipashya yatha pare. Think what has happened in the past, think what is happening now around. If we behave like this in a wrong way, it is not going to give any merit to you. This is the way he speaks to his father. Standing up for wrong is the quality of Nachiketa. Most of us see wrong things happening, but we just close our eyes and look the other way and don't want to protest, don't want to correct it, don't want to mend it. But Nachiketa is a sincere boy. He got up, told his own father, Father, what are you doing? Think once. And father gets wild, angry, because he's arrogant and he cannot take feedback. So what did he do? He told Nachiketa. First he ignored him first time, second time, third time again Nachiketa went and told, whom are you going to donate me to? Because you're supposed to donate everything that belongs to you. And I belong to you, I am your son. Whom are you going to give me to? And the father got angry, says, Mrityu, I'll give it to Mrityu. I will give you dadami. To whom? To Yamaraja. And this Nachiketa anyways accepts his father's wish, like Rama accepted his father Dasharatha's wish, and Pitruvakya Paripalana, Dharmavakya Paripalana. Nachiketa, as a young boy, goes to Yamaloka. In Yamaloka, Yama is very busy. Why? He is collecting people from around the world. He has no time, no rest. So this Yama comes back after 3 nights. He comes back to his home, working day and night shift. And Nachiketa is standing there at his door for 3 nights. After, when he comes back, he would have spoken to his office staff, the other Yamadutas. They would have told him, there is one Brahmin boy standing at the gate. He has not taken water, he has not eaten any food, he has not accepted any hospitality. We don't know what is the purpose. He only says he wants to meet you. So Yama goes carries some water to give him some water. That is the first thing that we do as a culture. Do you want to have some water? That is what we ask to anybody who comes to our home. And he is a Brahmin. Brahmins were given great respect because of their purity, because of their devotion to God, because of their knowledge of scriptures. In spite of that, his own father was not a very good Brahmin. But Nachiketa was a good boy. So he waits there. Yama goes to him with a glass of water, with a vessel of water. Because it is said that those to whose home a Brahmin Atiti comes, as such we say Atiti Devo Bhava, that is our culture. And Brahmin Atiti comes, you have to be very careful because Brahmins are known to curse. Durvasa was like that. So, and if they are happy, they will bless. Because of their power of purity and good things, they have certain siddhis. So the idea is to please the Brahmin and make sure that he is happy with you. Otherwise, they say the one who does not respect a Brahmin Atiti, in their house everything gets destroyed. Whatever they desire for children, progeny, or wealth and prosperity, everything gets destroyed. Why that shloka came there? It is only to tell us that we should treat our guests well. And why this was important? Because in old times, there were no guest houses, hotels, restaurants, nothing was there. So when people went for pilgrimage, especially Brahmins who will go to long pilgrimage from all the way south, they will go to Kashi, Himalayas. On the way in the nights, where will they stay? They have to just walk into any village and stand there, and somebody has to invite them to their home, give them water, food and night's shelter, and look after their welfare, and they will bless them with all their blessings and good feelings, and then they will continue their journey. So people on the old times did not have any such facilities. Therefore, they had to depend on hospitality of the people in the villages on the way to their destination. So when he went to Yama, Yama felt bad that you have waited for 3 nights without taking any food and water. There must be something very, very important and urgent. That is why you are not taking hospitality, but you want to meet me. So here I am. I'll give you 3 boons in lieu of the 3 nights that you had to wait for me. See, Yama was not like, who didn't say, why did you come here? Did I invite you? Why did you come to my home? No questions. You have come, you are Atiti, most welcome. However, I have not treated you well. We could not provide you the right hospitality. Therefore, ask for 3 boons. In the 3 boons, the first one Nachiketa asks is, when I go back to my father should be happy with me, should not be angry the way he was when he sent me to you. And Nachiketa was very clever. See, in 1 boon he asked 2 boons. One, that when I go back, means he is sure he is going back, he is not going to be with Yama. When I go back, my father should become happy with me. It's like asking, when God comes and asks you, what do you want? You are telling, I should eat my dinner with my great-grandchildren in gold plates. It means what? You have asked for prosperity, long life, great-grandchildren and lot of food. So 1 boon, 2 in 1 he asked. When I go back to my father should be happy with me and accept me. Should not think I am a ghost coming back from Yamaloka. And Yama says, very well, do that. See, we see a beautiful quality of Nachiketa. The quality is that those who have done harm to him, also he is doing good to them. Father sent him to Yama, but he thought about his father first. Let my father be happy. And Nachiketa came back later. The second boon Nachiketa asked was, I've heard that there is something called Swarga, where there is no hunger, no thirst, everybody enjoys, there is no fear of old age, disease, death. Can you tell me how to go there? And he didn't ask for himself, he asked for his father, because his father was not doing the yajna properly. So he thought he will learn from Yama, who knows about Swarga and Naraka, because he stands in between Swarga, Naraka and allots everybody their own accommodation. 7 Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Mahajanaha, Tapaha, Satyam, or Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. So he allocates. So he told, you tell me about that yajnam. And then Yama tells the entire process of that yajnam, performing which one can go to the highest Swarga. And it is also along with that, when Nachiketa repeats the entire instruction verbatim, he is a very sharp, very focused child. Once if you tell, he remembers. He is Uttamadhikari. So Yama blesses him, and what happens? Nachiketa repeats the entire instruction verbatim, and Yama becomes so happy. He gets one more extra boon. And the boon is, Yama says, your name will be given to this particular yajna, called Nachiketa Agni, it is called. And whoever performs it 3 times will go to the highest of the heavens. In fact, beyond heavens they will go. Mahata, they will go there. And Nachiketa is very happy. Now Yama asks the third boon. And what does Nachiketa say? Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushye. Whatever people are confused about when they die, asti iti eke, nayam asti iti cha eke. This one exists, says some. This one does not exist, says some. Means after death, what happens finally? Heaven, hell are okay. But beyond that, what happens? Nobody knows. That one if you know, then you please teach me that, he tells. So, this is my third boon. Now Yama has become very alert. Because anybody who comes to know that great secret beyond birth and death and heaven and hell will never come in the grip of Yama. He has escaped the grip of Yama because he has realized his true self. So Yama is not willing to tell that. Otherwise Yama's business will stop. If he goes and spreads it everywhere, then nobody will be caught by Yama. Everybody will escape death and birth. But Nachiketa is not to one to get easily persuaded. Yama tells him, I will give you everything else you want. I will give you sons and grandsons. Putra Pautra Vinishva. Shatayusha. 100 years they will live, your sons and grandsons. Also all the wealth in the world, as much as you want. Bahunam, Pashun. I will give you elephants, horses, gold I will give you. And Mahadayatanam, I will give you lot of land to rule. And you, Jivito Sharadashataha, you can also live for hundreds of years. You ask anything, but don't ask me about this boon, about what happens finally, what is the final truth. Don't ask me. Nachiketa is not convinced. So Yama increases his offer. He says, okay, live as long as you want, not 100 years, live as long as you want, and rule as much land as you want, and anything else that I have not offered, you ask for that also, I will give you. Again, Nachiketa is not convinced. Yama further increases the temptation. He says, those joys which are not possible for human beings on this earth, they are only available in Swargaloka. Like beautiful damsels will come and sing and dance and serve you, chariots, musical instruments, all kinds of wonderful 7-star treatment of Swargaloka. I will make it available to you in Bhuloka, wherever you are. Ask that, I will give you that also. Make any wish, but don't ask me about this truth. But Nachiketa is so clever, he replies back to Yama, oh Yama, all this which you are saying is very nice, but at the end I know, finally I will have to meet you. If not now, if not after 100 years, after 1000 years I have to come to you only. You are there, yadanta ketat. You are there at the end of everything. And also I have thought very, very well. What is the thing? Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha, all these pleasures of body and mind, they ultimately make us weak. Our indriyas are all destroyed. Therefore, it's not going to last forever. So I am not interested in your temptations. Also, he says that after having observed everything, you keep your music and dance to yourself, because this is not what is going to help me. Tavaiva vaha tavanritya gite, and give me only the truth and nothing else. Don't tell me all this swarga, narka, dharma, adharma, all these I am not interested in. You tell me what happens at the end. Final destination is what? And after much of argument between Yama and Nachiketa, finally Yama has no choice but to relent to Nachiketa, because he realizes Nachiketa is very, very sincere. After testing Nachiketa thoroughly with all temptations, finally now Yama says, you are a very good student. I am going to teach you about this, and starts with the second valli. In the second valli, he starts with Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyameto. These two things are there, Shreya and Preya, good and the pleasant. One is the pleasures of the senses and the mind and the world. That is one path. The other path, totally opposite, Duramete Viparite Vishuchi, he says, the completely opposite to this is the other path, which takes you to the good path, good life, not a happy, pleasant life. Pleasures means drink, smoke, make merry, all these are pleasures. But they are not necessarily good, they are slow poison. Initially they'll look very good, but eventually they'll kill you. I will tell you about that path which takes one to the highest of the lokas, highest of the attainment in one's life. Let me teach you that, he tells. And he tells only a dhira, the discriminating person, clearly sees that the worldliness or worldly pleasures are not the final destination. In fact, they are an obstruction in our true path. And the fools think that these things are important. Yoga kshema drunite mudaha. Fools think making money, getting a big job, salary, making a lot of relationships, having a lot of power, name, fame, that is all that matters in life. Yoga kshema, they desire for it, and then all life they spend protecting it. This only the lower intelligence people do. The highest intelligence people, they choose the Shreyo Marga, that which will take them to their own divine self-realization. This is how Yama starts teaching him, and tells him that this truth is so subtle that if anybody else teaches, you cannot understand. Ascharya Vakta Kushala Asya Labdha means the one who is very, very good at speaking about this truth. Why? Because he knows the truth by experience. And the Shishya, who is a very, very interested, very adept, very, very keen, alone can understand this truth. So if a good teacher is there and a bad student is there, learning won't happen. If a bad teacher is there, good student is also no use. A good teacher and a good student must come together to learn this highest wisdom. And then Yama himself goes and praises Nachiketa. You are a very good student. Satya Dhruti is the name that he calls Nachiketa by. You are very firm to know the truth. You will not budge for anything. And then Nachiketa says, all right, now you first were tempting me and fooling me. Now you are praising me and wasting my time. That is the attitude. Very humbly he tells Yama, Anyat dharmat, anyat adharmat, anyat asmad krita kritad, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yat tad pashyati tadvada. You tell me that which is beyond this dharma, adharma, swarga, narka, which is beyond past and future. I did this in the past, so I am suffering today. In the present, whatever I do, I will again suffer in the future. I don't want to hear all this. This I have heard. Anyatra asmad krita akritat. All that which is karana karya, this is the reason why this happens. This is the reason why something else happens. This all the people have told me. Do dharma, don't do adharma, otherwise you will go to swarga, narka. This I have heard from any number of people. I am not interested in all this. Beyond this, what exists, tell me about that. Let us not spend time discussing this. Let us come to the main point. And that is when Yama becomes even bigger admirer of Nachiketa. Because Nachiketa is so sharp, he is not tempted. See, small children are there. If they are asking for something big, parents can tempt them with some small toy, a chocolate, a small toy, and children are happy. They forget what they were asking for. But Nachiketa is not, though he is small in body, he is very sharp in his intellect. He doesn't agree to this Yama, and he keeps on waiting tell me, tell me, tell me, like this. So finally Yama says, all right, I will teach you, but just know that this is a very, very subtle thing. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. This is subtler than the atom and greater than the whole cosmos. That is this truth. It is a very strange truth and nobody knows it and understands it very easily. Therefore, who gets it? He says, Sarve Veda yat padamamananti. Then tapansi sarvani cha yad vadanti. Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti. Tatte padam sangrahena bravimyomi om ityetad. He says that, see, this is this ultimate exalted state of existence, that highest a human can ever achieve. And for that sake only, that is what is mentioned in all the Vedas. That is what is the reason why people do tapas. That is why people follow brahmacharya, continence and abstinence from all kinds of worldly pleasures. That state of truth can be briefly described as Om, he says. And Om iti Brahma, so that one I am telling you about, that ultimate, and he says this is the ultimate, Etadyevaksharam Brahma, Etadyevaksharam Param, he says. This is the highest, the knowledge of Brahman. And then he goes on explaining about how to chant Omkara. We heard all these things from the Mandukya Upanishad. Then he explains that ultimate Brahma Tattvam is what? In a very brief way he says in the second valli, Na jayate mirete va vapaschin, na ayam kutaschin, na babhuva kaschit, ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. This is the essence. This is from Bhagavad Gita, also has very similar shloka in the second chapter of Sankhya Yoga, which says what? That one is never born and that one never dies. That one is the highest intelligence which has not come from anywhere and from which nothing comes out. It alone is at all times, at all places. Ajo, it is never born. Nitya, it is always present. Shashvata, eternal, indestructible. Purano, the most ancient. Before that there was nothing. That was the very first thing. And na hanyate hanyamane sharire. When the bodies are destroyed, it is not destroyed. This is the essence, as I said, of the Atman or the Brahman that is being taught by Yama. And then he says, if somebody thinks I am killed, he is not killed. If somebody thinks I am killing, he is not killing, because this cannot be killed, nor it can kill anything. It is everything. Like I said, if bulb get fused, the electricity is not fused. Bulb only is fused. If you replace the bulb, again it will glow. Like that, bodies die, but this Atman, like the electricity within, never dies. That is the highest truth he explains to him. And then he says that how can you get it? Tamakratu pashyati vita shoka. The one who has finished desiring for all the worldly things. And now he wants this and only this. Such a person is called tam akratuhu. There is no more doing yajna yagas, prayers, no more artharthi jignasu. They are jnanis. They want this and this alone and nothing else. To such a person, when his dhatu prasadat mahiman atmanaha, when his body and senses are at peace, because he has no desires, he is not running behind worldly, sensual pleasures, he is not interested in any achievement in the world, but he only wants to know the truth of Atman. To such a person, this will come. And then he tells very beautifully, he says, Nayamatma paravachanena labhya, na medhayana bhavna shrutena, yamai vesha vrunate tena labhya, tasyaisha atma virmrute tanuswam. It says this one cannot be understood by lecturing and listening to lectures. So you attend any number of satsangs, you will understand nothing of it. Nayamatma pravachanena labhya. Na medhaya, by intelligence and memory you cannot understand this. Na bahuna shrutena, even by listening to it from many, many people in many different ways, you will not understand this truth. How to understand this truth of Atman? He says, Yamai vesha vrunute tena labhya. The one who wants this alone, to the exclusion of everything else in life, to that person this Atman will reveal itself. Why? Because we are all Atman. It is not somewhere else. It is in me, around me, above me, below me. Everywhere this Brahman is there. He has to reveal himself to me. I cannot go and see him. My understanding, my intelligence, senses, all these are limited. He is beyond all these. Therefore I cannot see him. That Brahma Tattva has to reveal to us. And to whom it does not reveal, na avirato duscharita, na ashanto, na samahitaha, na ashantamanaso vapi, prajnanenainam apnuyat. It says, the one who is in not stopping bad conduct, means his body and senses are always involved in wrong conduct, whose mind is not at peace, always desiring for something or the other. One desire gets over, the next arises and it goes on. Na samahitaha, whose mind is not focused and concentrated, is always scattered, always fickle. Na ashanta manaso, also the one who has no patience to realize self. He wants realization by tomorrow morning. I've done 20 minutes meditation, 21st minute Brahman should reveal. Such people don't attain Brahman. He says, therefore, you have to be patient on this path. Very, very patiently you should go on putting your efforts and leave the rest to God to tell you. And he says finally, this is so powerful. Yasya brahmacha shatram cha ubhe bhavata odanaha mrutyur yasyopache sechanam ka ittha veda yatra saha. He says, who can know this truth? Who is so powerful that Brahmans and Kshatriyas, means the best of the class of the society, are like boiled rice for this Brahma. He eats everything. It means he alone exists, everybody else's existence is dependent on him. That is the idea. And Mrityu, Yama himself is like a side dish, like a chutney or a podi for him. It means what? Even Yama cannot touch a person with Brahma Jnana. Brahma Jnani is far, far more powerful than all these people. See, everybody is scared of death. Even a Brahmin or a Kshatriya is scared of death. But this Brahma Tattva is not scared of death. It is beyond death. Therefore, Mrityu is like a side dish for him. So that is how the second Valli ends. Then we come to the third Valli, which we saw finally, where we see that Dese Ritam Pibantau Sukritasya Loke Guham Pravishtav Parame Pararde. In the body, two are there, they say. Two are there who are enjoying the fruits of all our actions. And this is agreed upon by the Bhakti people, Vedantins, by the Karmakanda people. Everybody agrees. And then he explains, one is Jivatma and one is the Paramatma. We think there are two, but actually there is only one. Paramatma alone is, and reflection is Jivatma. So I gave you a definition of yourself. Somebody asks you who you are. I am Brahman manifesting as Jivatma in this body-mind complex. This is your truth.